Hey everybody, my name is Kris Amerikos, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how to correctly pronounce the word clothes. Yes, that's right. A lot of people who are learning English don't know how to pronounce the word clothes correctly. Well, here's why. It's really difficult to say, right? I can agree with you. The word clothes in English is very difficult to say. It has this strange sound at the end of it, right? Th. The word clothes has this sound at the end, th. And just imagine that you met a nice English-speaking boy or girl and you brought them back to your home and you said, "Mom, I want you to meet my boyfriend or girlfriend. They say beautiful sounds like th. Clothes, right?" So this is not the most beautiful sound, but it is part of English, so we need to learn it. So let's look at why this word sounds like this and how we can pronounce it and how we can make it easier for ourselves to pronounce it and so that people can understand us. So first of all, let's look at this word itself. Clothes. And here I've written out the transcription for you. So it's L, U, th, z. Clothes. Cl, o, th. Yeah, and that last part is hard to say, right? So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And clothes is, well, I think you know what it means, right? These are clothes. How do you make clothes, though? And what are some other words for clothes? Well, another word for clothes, a synonym of clothes, is clothing. Clothing. So this one is a little easier to say, right? So we can see it here, clothing. And clothing means the same thing as clothes. It's just all different types of clothes. And how do you make clothes? Well, you need to have lots of cloths to make clothes, right? That might sound a little confusing. They sound very similar. So let's look at this. We have a cloth, cloth, right? Here we have a different sound. It's not O, it's not cloth, no, it's cloth, cloth, okay? One cloth, but some cloths. Here we have that difficult sound again, right? The, z. Cloths. So the first sound is th, and we make the sound by putting our tongue up on our teeth here and making vibration. So, and th, like that. And then we add the z sound after that. Th, right? Cloths. So a cloth is one piece of material, and we need many cloths together to make one piece of clothing, right? To make clothes, we use cloths. Okay, so these words have the same root. They come from the same source. They are related to each other. In the past, when they created this plural form, cloths, then there was some confusion about clothes in general and just small pieces, right? So that's why we have two different words. And something to remember so that people understand you when you talk about clothes is that the word clothes is always plural. It's always more than one. So we can say, my clothes are comfortable. Your clothes are very cool. We always say clothes are, never clothes is. Because clothes cannot be one. It's always more than one. There's also a verb, to clothe someone. And this means to put clothes on someone, right? So A mother might clothe her child. And teenagers might not clothe themselves very appropriately sometimes, right? So this is like to dress, to wear clothes. To clothe is usually used when you do this for someone else. So there's an object after this verb, right? To clothe. And then if we say he or she or it, then we need to say clothes. And this has the same pronunciation as clothes. So that's confusing, right? Well, here's how we can understand. This word is a noun, and it's a plural noun. It's always more than one. But this word is a verb only about he, she, it. Right? So it's just the he, she, it form. The third person form of the verb to clothe is clothes. He clothes many people. Maybe he puts many clothes on people. So it's a strange example, and we don't use this verb a lot, so you've probably never heard of it, but it's a good example of the word clothes, how we should pronounce it, and how it's used in different ways. Now, if you've come this far in this lesson, then good job, I applaud you. And now I'm going to tell you the best way to say this word. You probably think, well, Kris, you just said this word a lot of times during this video, so now I know how to pronounce it, right? Well, actually, I'm saying the correct pronunciation by the book. If you go to the dictionary, you'll see this pronunciation. But native speakers don't always say it like this. They don't always say clothes, because that sound at the end is hard to say even for us. So, th, no, we don't want to say that. It's difficult. And when we're speaking quickly, native speakers might not say this th sound. Instead, they might say close, like close the door. Absolutely. Hey, I like your clothes. Will people understand me if I say clothes and not clothes? Yes, they will. Because even for us native speakers, it's not convenient to say this sound. It's not very comfortable to say this sound at the end of the word. These two sounds together, th, right? So let's look at some other examples of when this changes. Native speakers, instead of saying clothes, say clothes, and it's okay. We also have the word months. Months, right? This is difficult to say, right? Months. So what do native speakers usually do when they're speaking quickly? They take out this sound. They say months. I have lived here for 5 months. And it's okay. Everyone understands. Next, bathe. Bathe. This is to wash someone, right? Or maybe to wash yourself. Or maybe you're more familiar with the verb to sunbathe, right? So this is another example of a word that has the same sound. And when we put it into the third person, we can say he bathes, right? Here's our z sound at the end again. And one more example is the verb to breathe. He breathes. So in the end of this lesson, do you really need to learn how to say z, right? How to say that correctly? Do you really need it? Well, it's useful. You should try to say it correctly. But you should also listen to how native speakers really speak, because they don't always speak correctly, and that's okay. We don't have to always speak correctly. In fact, it's strange when we always speak correctly, right? But when native speakers speak incorrectly, they also follow rules. So we need to learn the rules of how to break the rules. Learn the rules of how native speakers change the language. And this is one of the ways, okay? So you can say clothes, you can say clothes, but absolutely, positively, never, ever, never say clothes. No, never say that. That will make me cry. If I hear you say clothes, then you'll see me cry 2 seconds later. Because this word is clothes. 1 syllable. That's it for this lesson. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this and you found it useful, please share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to press like and press subscribe down below. You can also write your comment, and your comment can ask more questions about this or maybe suggest another topic, or you can come over and you can join our speaking practice lessons. We have multiple lessons every day, and under this video you'll find a link to join my free seminar where I will tell you how you can improve your English in just 1 month. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Share it with people if you think it will be useful for them to hear, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson or in our next video. See you later. Bye-bye.